The majority of people in this modern society, which promotes being busy over being productive, love to victimize themselves and express just how busy they are with work. These people get satisfaction out of complaining about being busy and never getting a minute to themselves. And the funniest thing about it is, all the other people that are content with being mediocre support them. They all reward personal sacrifice over personal productivity. But deep down, all of these people wish they had more time, and they envy those who do. They envy the ones who realize that the longer it takes to complete a task does not increase its importance. But that's their decision. They chose to work hard and not smart. And actually, just up until a couple of weeks ago, I was this person. I used to work as hard as possible without any means of structure or method. And by working as hard as possible, I'm talking about working from the minute I woke up at like noon until the minute I went to bed at 2 a.m. or something like that. And the worst thing about it was I didn't even get a sense of fulfillment from it, and I didn't feel like I was achieving that much. But that's mainly because I wasn't actually achieving anything. I would spend 5 days trying to write one script for this YouTube channel, and it would stress me out so much because I didn't have any time to relax or chill with my family. And I actually remember this one specific day in the summer where it was so sunny and all my family went to the beach, and instead of me going with them, I just decided to stay here to try and write a script on my own. And yeah, I guess you could argue that shows some determination, but the worst thing about it was I hardly even wrote the introduction to it, and I spent so much time just kind of sat here doing nothing, where I would just write a sentence and then I'd check my phone, and then I tried to write the script again, then I'd decide to make a sandwich or something, and then I'd come back up to write the script, and then I'd obviously forget where I was, so I'd have to try and remember where I left off, and then I'd go and get a coffee, then I'd come upstairs to write the script again. So of course, I found it so hard to get into the rhythm of things and kind of stay in the flow of writing, and this shit would just go on for hours and hours and hours, man. And I would do the same thing over and over again every single day. So obviously I couldn't help but feel like having a work-life balance with friends and family was pretty much an impossible task for me at that time. But I was wrong. Very, very wrong. Now I can literally do more in 3 hours than what I used to do in 5 days. I can literally write 3 scripts in 3 hours right now if I really want to. You see, the problem that most people have is they don't work smart, they work hard. And working productively for 12 hours isn't actually possible. So let go of your ego that is disagreeing with me right now. You can be busy for 12 hours, but you cannot be productive for 12 hours. And if you're being busy for 12 hours, that just means you spend 90% of your time dilly-dallying about just trying to fill out your day and completing unnecessary tasks like checking your email every 20 minutes to make you feel productive. Honestly, man, this is such a time waster. This is the type of work that makes people feel like they never get to spend time with their family and that they never get any time for themselves. And quite frankly, your life will always be this way unless you decide to make a change to it right now. You've got to think, right? If a gun was being pointed at your head to get your 12 hours of work completed in just 1 hour, I guarantee you'd become more selective and start to only focus on the 20% of tasks that actually matter. And if we take the Pareto principle into account here, that would actually be a really good thing, because you'd be getting 80% of tasks completed, which would be working at maximum effectiveness. It would not be worth your time working an extra 11 hours, would it, just to get that last 20% of tasks completed? And you'd be much better off going to the gym and meditating and reading and cooking a nice fresh meal and spending time with your family and then going to sleep for a nice 10 hours sleep so that you can prepare and refresh yourself for another 1 hour day at the office tomorrow with a gun being pointed to your head. So how exactly do you do it? Well, first of all, separate the tasks that are genuinely considered important from the tasks that are considered shallow. And to work out what tasks are actually important, ask yourself this question: if this is the only thing that I accomplish today, will I be satisfied with my day? And if the answer is yes, then more than likely that is an important task. Then set a timer for 90 minutes for your first deep work session, as you're going to be doing 2 of these in succession, and you can use the gap between the 2 sessions to go to the toilet or get a drink or whatever. But basically, deep work means that you can have no distractions whilst working. So you need to make sure that you turn off your phone and you go to the toilet and you get a drink and you tell your parents or your siblings not to disturb you before you begin the timer and the deep work session. This is so important. Now, when you're working, you have to work as though you've got this gun being pointed at your head, and that if you don't get the tasks completed within the timer, you'll get your head blown off, basically. Which is pretty fucked up, yeah. But it's kind of mad how much work you get done when you're absolutely forced to. And during these sessions, your mind is likely to get tired. It just is. I mean, it's quite intense. But that's when you know you're doing a good job. It's supposed to be difficult. You're also likely to lose concentration whilst you're doing it. I mean, that's quite a common thing that happened to me at the start as well. But when this does happen and you do lose concentration, just ask yourself if you are being productive or just active. And there's a very, very big difference between those 2 words. Once the deep work sessions are complete, make sure you acknowledge that you've progressed in a habit tracker so that you can track how consistent you've been. And you might think this is completely unnecessary, but when you can visually see your progress, it's going to motivate you to keep going, and it's very, very satisfying. So trust me with this one. And lastly, boys, go and enjoy the rest of your day. That way you can come back again tomorrow feeling refreshed and ready to destroy some more deep work sessions. Now, this information is probably more suited for somebody who is interested in starting up their own kind of business and setting up something for themselves. So if you are employed by somebody, I guess my advice would be just to leave. No, seriously, I think it actually would be just to leave. But if you're not in a position to be able to do that, just explain to your employer that you can see how busy they are and that you want to help them by doing some more independent work. That way you can apply deep work sessions to your life and free up more of your time. They might not agree to it initially, but I guarantee that if you just ask them if they think it's realistic to try out an experiment for a week, they would give it a go. I mean, after all, nothing is unrealistic. Believe you can, and you're more than halfway there. See you later, pal. See you later.